So, my life gets crazy with Brooke and Blake and a husband that works 80 hours a day, a week, and I decided to start my own business on top of it, which is insanely crazy. But thanks to the Iowa Clinic, they made it easy to see my doctor. And when I get there, she listens. So I feel like I have a partner. And before you know it, I can get back to my crazy, busy, insanely busy life where I have a busy business, busy husband, and busy twins. Oh no, where's Brooke? There she is. Care how you want it. Visit iowaclinic.com.
All right, let's get after it. Pre-game, Iowa State Cyhawk Trophy is on the line. Thanks to our sponsors, the Iowa Clinic. Also, check out my friend Ray Schmidt at farmstorymeats.com. I'm in love with this company. It's like one of those subscription things you can do, except it's Iowa-grown beef, pork, right to your doorstep. It's phenomenal. If the Cyclones win, you win. We gave away a ton of free bacon last week. We hope to do more today. All right. 5 things to watch for in today's Cyhawk game. Well, number one for me, actually it's number 5 as we go down backwards. It's the running game. Both teams, both offenses, both head coaches, they freaking love the running game. Iowa State didn't really get its going last week against Northern Iowa. Breece Hall himself said afterwards, I missed some cuts. I didn't think the offensive line was particularly great against their FCS foes from Cedar Falls. Iowa State, I think if they win today, they're going to have to run the football better against a stout Hawkeye defense. Meanwhile, on the other side, Iowa's got a damn good running back itself. They always have a good offensive line. And frankly, they don't really trust their quarterback yet in Spencer Petras. So if Iowa can't run the football, then you're putting it on Petras, and that's a big deal for the Hawkeyes. Number 4 for me is a fast start. I think Iowa State needs to get out and go in this football game. One of the things that I'm not crazy about with this Iowa State, it's great. Don't get me wrong, that there's such a good second half team. There's no doubt about that. But I think today in this football game against Iowa, they've got to rattle the Hawkeyes early, keep that crowd involved. Last week against Northern Iowa, the crowd really didn't have anything to cheer about, and to the detriment of the atmosphere, I thought, in the second half. I don't want that today against Iowa. I think you need a big play, a couple big plays early, get the crowd juiced, and that's going to make things a lot more difficult on Iowa's quarterback that has literally never played in front of a crowd in his college career. Number 3 is the intangibles. This is how Iowa generally beats you because they don't screw up. They're a very disciplined football team. It's making that extra point. It's don't have the stupid penalty. It's, don't fumble, that type of stuff. Just smart football. I think Iowa State's a pretty smart football team, specifically under Matt Campbell. They didn't do too bad in this area last week. But I think in a game as even as this one, man, Andrew Mevis kicking the ball out of bounds every time instead of giving Iowa good field position, stuff like that really matters in a rivalry game like today. Number 2 is quarterback play, folks. I think Iowa State has a clear edge here with Brock Purdy versus Spencer Petras. And I do believe that Brock's going to have to thread the needle a time or two against this stout Iowa defense. Brock didn't really push it last week against Northern Iowa. He checked down a lot. I think for Iowa State to beat Iowa, Brock is going to have to go from being a good quarterback. He's got to be a great quarterback to beat a top 10 team like the Hawkeyes are heading into today's 3:30 kick at Jack Trice Stadium. On the other side, what are you going to get from Spencer Petras? He was 13 for 27 last week, get a big win against Indiana. I'm not going to kill him for that. He didn't really need to do much. They had a huge lead early. He wasn't bad in the second half of last season for Iowa, but he was terrible in the first. Who are you going to get today with this first true road game with the crowd? We'll find out. But I think quarterback play, it's always a big deal in football. I think Iowa's got some questions still about theirs. Iowa State doesn't, but Brock has to be better than he was last week if Iowa State beats the Hawkeyes today. And number 1 is turnovers, folks. This is, to me, this is such a everybody knows turnovers are big in football, but Iowa has not turned the ball over against the Cyclones since 2014. Newsflash, they haven't lost a game either, right? I think if Iowa State wins today, they got to force a Iowa turnover at some point. I don't know how that happens. And meanwhile, you can't be giving the ball back to Kirk Ferentz and these slow pace. They play like Iowa State plays. They're very similar football teams are the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones. And with that, that kind of goes back to number 3 with intangibles. Who's going to play the most solid game? I think if Iowa State does that, they win. I think Iowa State does win today, which is bringing my prediction to Man, I hate doing these. Let's go 24-16. Good guys. How do you like that? Thanks to the Iowa Clinic Farm Story Meats. We're going to have complete coverage for you guys all day. We've got the halftime show. Brett Meyer and I will be live right here on the Cyclone Fanatic stream across all of your Cyclone Fanatic platforms. Post-game live with Jared Stansberry and Rob Gray. We'll get you caught up on everything Matt Campbell had to say. And, of course, just follow us on Twitter, Cyclone Fanatic Facebook feed, and I'll have instant reaction immediately following today's game. Thanks to you all for watching. Go Clones. Be safe out there. It's going to be a wild one, and just hope everybody has a lot of fun. Thank you.